Good morning. Hey, I'm sorry. Welcome. I got zoned out. You know why? Because I'm looking at this card that I got, and it's Whataburger. It says my name, my old member number, the unit I worked at, 324. Y'all can look that up. That's the Whataburger that I was at. Whataburger Unit 324. Oh my gosh. If y'all are ever in Houston, go check that one out. That's where I was at. That's where I was managed. Was I robbed at 320? I was almost robbed at 324. I was robbed at, I believe, 389 and fuck, I forgot the other unit number, 7 something. Those are the units I was robbed at. But 324 was like where I became manager. So if y'all are ever in Houston, go check it out. Again, Whataburger Unit 324. Shit. So I was looking at that. That's so cool. It's really cool to like reflect on your past and reflect on things you've done, accomplishments, jobs, whatever, right? I think that's something unique, and and obviously the brain, but like where is this information just stored at? Because you get older and you just start remembering all these things. And uh, anyways, it also feels good to see I'm here, like I'm right here with you right now. Like that is so freaking cool. I was just a regular old chick tossing little french fries. I mean, I always knew I was going to be somebody, but I just didn't see me here. So I'm very, 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 very thankful for y'all and anybody that watches me. Like, you take the time out to watch, like, think about this. I was a nobody. So whether you take the time out because you're just like one of these night flirt Karens, or you like actually genuinely love me, it's still people wanting their eyes on me. Which is all I really wanted, anyways. Nonetheless, it's accentuated. Okay. All right. Ooh, my phone was on 1%. Oh my gosh. I do have the cutest little sticker that's right inside my Think and Grow Rich. It's really cute. It's like metallic. Anyways. Uh, faith. I was going to talk about the self-confidence, but the book opened up to faith. And so, dang, do I gotta have, I want to do this somewhere else, but I don't know if, I think I gotta download the Twitter app. By the way, okay, so while I'm doing this, right, I want you guys, hold on, can I go live there? No. So let me get the Twitter out. I want you guys to head on over to Twitter, right? And I usually tell you all to follow pages that will help, because if you got questions, please hit me there. But, I need you guys to go vote on my personal Twitter is I Want Paisley. I am nominated. Oh my gosh. We have about 9 days left of voting. I'm nominated for Best BBW Streamer. And honestly, I feel appreciated. Like, it's so freaking cool that I got nominated. I was nominated in 2021 and 2022. 2023, y'all, I was not focused. I didn't campaign it. I didn't care. Like, just wasn't in it. I was going through my own personal life stuff. So I'm glad to see that when I'm on my game and I'm putting out content and I'm being there for my fans and all that, I get recognized. So, anyways, y'all just going over to Twitter because that's where the link is. Every time I try to put it on YouTube, they think it's an adult work link. So, y'all know I ain't doing nothing to miss this channel now. Okay. Y'all know that. So, we gonna keep it clean. Dang, what's my password? Good, because I thought I was gonna have to wake one of my little teammates up this morning and be like, "Girl, I need my Twitter password." I need to, I know, y'all. I need to do a better job of keeping up with that. But the thing is, whenever I have to change teammates or I lose a teammate or something, I change the passwords instantly. A lot of you guys are like, "How do you just trust someone?" And I'm still signing up for Twitter. We're gonna get into faith. Um, how do you just trust someone with your information? And to be honest, I'm not okay. I will say this. I am so blessed that anyone that has ever worked for me, whether it was moderator, Brittany, Ray, anybody on Do We See Dollars, uh, who else? Randy. All them people, honey, let me tell y'all something. I don't got nothing bad to say about none of them. You know why? We may have had disagreements or whatever, but like them motherfuckers, they cared. I like that. I did feel like all of them had some sort of passion with whatever they were helping me out with. So I'm blessed. So I never fell off with I guess an employee, whatever, a teammate. I never fell off with a teammate, and like it's been that crazy where they just want to take or steal or whatever. Like they never did this. So I think that shit is so cool. With that being said, the moment I get an inkling of anybody leaving, the moment they say it, before I respond any of that, baby, I go change my passwords because you just want to be safe. But that's how I trust. Honestly, it's really easy to trust them because they were awesome. Some of them I might have back, some of them I might not, but at the end of the day, I've had great help. And I'm thankful for it. Anyways, okay. Yippee! I figured it out. I downloaded the Twitter app again so I can come on here and do these lives. But baby, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something. I'm about to delete this app again. I'm not doing this. You know how y'all wean a baby off of like a pacifier or something? I'm doing myself like that with social media. I want it entirely ran by anybody that's helping me. Okay? That is great for me. Because honestly, I got videos to make and stuff to do. Hold on though. So I got it downloaded. Now I can talk in both places. I just wanted to reach as many people as possible. Anyways, I opened up the book of Think and Grow Rich and I was about to go over the self confidence formula yet again. Okay? Because it's Mental Health Awareness Month and I think I'm not saying it starts there, but that's definitely a problem that I see in a lot of people. They're not self confident. And the thing is, neither was I for 28 years. Neither was I. For almost 3 decades. And that is horrible. That's horrible. Who dislikes themselves, doesn't feel good about themselves for almost 30 years? Let that sink in. So, with that being said, I do feel like it does start with being self confident and it just being self confident, working on that growth from 28 to 32. And then when I became 32, I'm like, what? And me at almost 35 now, like, y'all, baby, just saying. So, I wanted to go over that with y'all because y'all motherfuckers need some confidence. Y'all really do. You want to feel good about yourselves. So I want you to take this time to sit and think about what's one thing that you're going to incorporate for Mental Health Awareness Month and practice it. So for me, out on my turmeric, I have been drinking a teaspoon of turmeric in a cup of water. I just gonna Once my water bottle's about halfway, I just put a teaspoon of turmeric in there, shake that motherfucker up, and chug it down. Or sometimes I sip on it. It's honestly, it looks kind of gross. It is not bad tasting. It's not going to make you like, ew, this is so gross. And turmeric has a lot of healing benefits. But anyways, forget all the other cool things turmeric does. Just focus on being sad, maybe being a little depressed, hell, maybe even stress. That is great for. So that's one thing that I've incorporated, and I hope you guys. I'm not saying y'all ain't gotta do what I do, but what you need to do is find something that you're going to incorporate, even one thing. Promote positive mental health, healthy mental health. It is okay not to be okay, but once you understand that, it's not okay to stay in that mindset. We gotta fix it. Get you some confidence, okay? Now, the book open to faith, and I'm a firm believer. Like, if that's what I'm meant to talk about, then we'll just switch the subject. So it's chapter 3. And I'm not going to read it, but I'm going to read what I highlighted in there. So, first, we got to understand what faith is and kind of reprogram our mindsets in a bit. Because when I think of faith, I think of church growing up. So if I hear someone saying, "Oh, we need to talk about faith," I'm like, I don't want to hear all this preachy stuff. Like, maybe I do, maybe I don't. But like, that's what I was thinking when it came to that. And so, excuse me, that coffee's good. So this book gave me a definition and I like it. So faith is a state of mind which may be induced or created by affirmation or repeated instructions to the subconscious mind through principle of autosuggestion. Okay. I don't know if y'all just waking up or if y'all don't understand or when you're listening to this, but let's break it down. Faith is a state of mind which may be induced or created by affirmations or just telling yourself repeated things. Autosuggestion just means self-suggestion. So what are you telling yourself? So for instance, if you wake up and you're like, these crystals is what got me through. But somebody else could be looking like, oh, them stupid rocks. But your faith is just so strong that you know. There's no proof, but you know that's faith, right? So that's just an example. Repetition of affirmations of orders to your subconscious mind is only known method for voluntary development of the emotion of faith. So if y'all got another way to come up with faith and how you get faith, but they said this is the only known method, keep telling yourself and believe. Have hope. That's where those words come in. Oh, it gave this example in the book. It says, I'm going to paraphrase. When people come into contact with crime, they are disgusted by it. If they remain in contact with crime for a long time, they become accustomed to it and endure it. If they remain in contact with it long enough, they finally embrace it and become influenced by it, which is pretty much saying we are a product of our environment. But the thing is, that's where that F word comes in, a big faith, okay? So, also highlighted these parts. It says, there are millions of people who believe themselves doomed to poverty and failure because of some strange force over which they believe they have no control. They are creators of their own misfortunes. Because of this negative belief, which is picked up by the subconscious mind and translated into its physical equivalent, like we learned this in chapter 1, it's going to, whatever you tell yourself, is eventually going to produce outwards into physical reality. What the fuck are you telling yourself? What are you telling yourself? When I made the decision to not want to feel bad about myself, not want to feel ugly, all these things, baby, that was work. I was crying in the mirrors, honey. Forcing myself to look at myself while I'm crying, going through it. But I sat there and I had my little sticky notes, telling myself some positive things so I could walk by and be like, okay. And so I didn't need that no more. Baby, I don't even need to look in the mirror. I don't care how I look. My hair could be just waking up, big old fro, teeth ain't brushed. It don't matter. Because I feel good. And I tell myself that till, it produced outwards. And I actually feel that. That was a tough thing to go. But anyways, back to this. There are millions of people who believe themselves doomed to poverty and failure. Okay. So when you grow up, you know what I hate when people say, like, ew, what's so grungy to me? Humble beginnings. Like, ew, don't say, bitch, we was broke. We was in poverty. We didn't have this. Stop, don't call it that. That's too fancy. Nonetheless, I didn't grow up having a lot of money, right? That's not something I just have. I couldn't always have what I wanted. For the most part, I had what I needed. Like physical things. I needed some emotional support. I needed some emotional love and bond, but didn't get that. But it's okay. It's all right. But anyways, When I would be outside and looking at my surroundings, like I always know, like I wanted more. I want to be more. I want a bigger house. I want a nicer neighborhood. I want a safer neighborhood. I don't want to see like my offsprings to see what I see growing up. Like you should always want better, right? I think that's just how it goes. And so I always knew I could be somebody. I always excelled in school. I had like a 3.8 GPA. I think I read over like 3.7 GPA. Like I always just did well. And I'd be sitting on like when I was riding the metro, that's like public transportation. I don't know, I would feel good because I knew this wasn't always going to be me. I was going to have to ride the bus forever. I wasn't going to have to live over here forever. Like I knew these things. But I think a lot of my surrounding neighbors didn't have the same faith that I had, that I knew I was going to get out the hood, you know? In fact, I still see like people that I grew up with, and they're still like repping the hood. They're still on this hood mentality and these things. And it's just like, damn, don't get trapped. You should understand you can get yourself out of there. Let me tell y'all something. I don't know what's going on. I don't really keep up with the news and all of this stuff. But if you're in the United States, I kind of feel like you're a little fortunate to be able to get yourself out of tricky situations and make something of yourself, get a better life. But it starts with faith. So if you're stuck in the hood and you have that mentality, like, I'm being a hood, I'm raising my kids, you envision your life there, like, bitch, you're gonna be stuck in the hood. But I just knew I wanted better for myself. Um, so I always did that. I always excelled. I always wanted to be in the top 10% of my class. I wanted these things. I knew, like I said, I'd be riding public transportation. Like my first Whataburger job, the first unit I worked at, which I gotta give y'all that, but it's kind of in the hood, so I don't just want y'all just traveling over there. I ain't gonna send y'all on the path to destruction now. But nonetheless, the first Whataburger I worked at, um, I would be like doing my college notes and studies and whatever, or researching or thinking about whatever businesses I wanted to start or whatever the case is. And I noticed this was at a point, I think I was 19. It was another 19-year-old that worked there, and she already had 4 children. And I just remember thinking, like, damn, we're not the same. This is the life you chose, but you're a product of your environment. And even though we're in the same area, you know, whatever, I knew I didn't want no kids as a teenager. I came from a teenage mom. Ain't nobody have to tell me nothing. I knew I didn't want none as a teenager. And it was a proud accomplishment of me not to have a child as a teenager and to break the cycle. Yeah, for sure. Ask away. So I really intentionally thought these things throughout my life. I'm not good. This is not it. When I was driving the car I had my little Altima. Okay. I knew this was not the end. I knew this is not my heart. Like, I never let my circumstances affect the way I think. And that's another trait. Y'all should figure that out. Baby, do you got a question or not? Because now you got me thinking, what the hell is your question? And I want to get back to my readings. If your question is pertaining to PSO, my next class, yada, 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 I will respond after this. But if it's pertaining to what we're on subject, please ask away. Okay. And just know Like I said, whatever you're thinking is going to produce itself outward into physical reality. So I'm in an apartment right now. I'll give you another story. I'm in an apartment right now, and literally on the other side of the fence is huge houses. Like it almost makes me feel like the oblongs. It's not that bad though. All they were. But it makes y'all remember that show? That show was so cool to me. I don't know like why it didn't stick around long or why they didn't get better ratings. Because to me that was just a dope ass concept. I can't control myself if someone say wrong about me. Can you rephrase that? And I understand that everyone that is watching my channel might be watching reading it, or English might not be your first language. But please, bear with me until I start understanding more languages. Bear with me. Okay. You need to conduct yourself just as you would as if you were already in possession of the material thing which you are demanding. Okay, back to my point. I stare at these big ass houses. And this time just I'm like, oh, that's a nice house. It's like huge. And like, yes, I want this house. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, they're gonna be my neighbors one day. Like, I just think that I'm not gonna be in this one bedroom apartment. I'm gonna be in that house. Like, I visualize this. I visualize what my ideal life looks like. Sidebar, sidebar. I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, but when you visualize your ideal life, never mind, I'm not gonna say that. Anyways. Okay. So you want to stop right now and think what kind of dominating thoughts are taking over your mind? Like really think to yourself, what the hell be on your mind? Is it positive? Is it speaking love into yourself? Are you saying negative things to yourself? I can't. Ugh, so broke. My day is so bad. It's just gonna, my attitude. I'm tired. Stop saying those things. You're speaking that into yourself. A mind dominated by positive emotions becomes a favorable abode for the state of mind known as faith. A mind so dominated may at will give the subconscious mind instructions, which it will accept and act upon immediately. Be intentional. Okay. So I'm gonna leave off on this last part. I highly suggest if y'all want it, Napoleon Hill Think and Grow Rich. I'm just reading like my highlighted parts. Okay. In language with any normal human being can understand, we will describe all that is known about the principle through which faith may be developed where it does not already exist. All right. Have faith in yourself, faith in the infinite. Before we begin, you should be reminded again that faith is the eternal elixir which gives life power and action to the impulse of thought. Faith is the eternal elixir which gives life power and action to the impulse of thought. Faith is the starting point of all accumulation of riches. Faith is the basis of all miracles and all mysteries which cannot be analyzed by the rule of science. Faith is the only known antidote for failure. Faith is the element, the chemical, which gives which when mixed with prayer gives one direct communication with the infinite intelligence. Now, I didn't tell you who to believe to. Y'all got your own. Y'all got your own. But when you know you're praying to your higher self, your God, your spirit guides, your ancestors, whoever, right? Right. You know you're sending that direct message straight to the source, the creator. Faith is the element which transforms the ordinary vibration of thought created by the finite mind of man into spiritual equivalent. Faith is the only agency through which cosmic force of infinite intelligence can be harnessed and used by man. On the very next page is a self-confidence formula, which you need to do once a day. And I've talked about it several times on this channel. But yeah. So if I can kind of understand what you're saying, when someone has something negative to say about you, it makes you mad. You can't control your emotions. Is that what you're saying? I was trying to speak correctly so it would translate correctly. I'm doing my best. Because y'all know I like to talk how I talk, and it doesn't always translate right. I'm going to try to be more mindful. I know y'all are doing your best to understand me. I appreciate y'all being here and trying. That's more important, is that you're trying to understand. So thank y'all for being here, watching my channel. Subscribe, Hazel Hayes on YouTube. Okay. I'm out. Peace.